the Trump administration is busy looking for reasons to back its fresh tariff rate imposed on India. From Trump accusing India of not caring about the number of Ukrainians killed by the Russian war machine and thereby buying oil from Russia, to trade advisor Peter Navarro calling it a pure national security issue. Terming India as Maharaja of tariffs, Navarro said America imports goods from India and then the dollars sent to India are being used to buy Russian oil.
Let's talk first about the India tariffs, which went up to 50% today. It's important to understand that the rationale for the India tariffs are very different from the reciprocal tariffs. This was a pure national security issue associated with India's abject refusal to stop buying Russia oil. And the math of this, every American needs to understand because it's related to the trade situation. You start with the fact that India is the Maharaja of tariffs. It's the highest tariffs in the world, charging on American products, and it's got high non-tariff barriers, so we can't get our products in. So we send a lot of dollars overseas to India to buy their products in an unfair trade environment. India then uses American dollars to buy Russian oil.
On the other hand, when President Trump was asked by a reporter if he expects increased trade negotiations with India after the announcement of 50% tariffs, all that he had to say was, no, not until we get it resolved.
To follow up on the India tariffs, do you expect increased trade negotiations, since you've announced the 50% tariff?
No, not until we get it resolved.
If going by Trump's rationale, India faces additional tariffs because of its purchase of oil from Russia. So from Trump's remark, we decipher that the matter gets resolved once India stops buying Russian oil. Whereas India faces 50% tariffs for doing business with Russia. China, which is U.S. biggest competitor and one of Russia's strongest ally and business partners, has been spared. When Navarro was asked why China not meted the same treatment, this is what he had to say.
As the boss says, let's see what happens. Keep in mind that we have over 50% tariffs on China already. Okay.
Right, but you could
we
go
have,
but they haven't been punished for buying Russian
we
oil.
have
India's
we
been
have
punished for
over 50% tariffs
But
on
not because
China,
of
so we don't
buying
want to get to
Russian
a
oil.
point where we actually hurt ourselves. Okay,
But
so
do you
that
see why people
that
would be
question,
confused by that?
and I think I've given a really good answer to that.
In fact, China does not even find itself mentioned on the new tariff list. Trump, who had earlier attacked China and promised to levy high tariffs, is now negotiating with them. In fact, when asked why he has singled out India for doing business with Russia, while China continues to also do the same, President Trump said more secondary sanctions were coming.
Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional
It's
sanctions?
only been 8 hours, so let's see what happens over the
More
next.
secondary sanctions
you're going
very
to see a lot
soon.
more.
So this is a taste of
You're
what's
going to
come.
see a lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions.
Again, when Trump was asked during an interaction with reporters that when India is being criticized for buying Russian oil, US imports Russian uranium, chemicals and fertilizers. This is what the President of the United States had to say.
India says that the U.S. imports Russian uranium, chemicals, fertilizers, while criticizing their energy imports. Your response to that, sir?
I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that. Yeah, please.
So why this duplicity? And how is India's buying of Russian oil becomes a matter of national security? This is what Trump has now got to answer. With Mahashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.